What's going on, guys? Gomes here, back again on another MLB The Show 20 Diamond Dynasty video. Today we are going to be talking a bit about the second inning program, which is upcoming really soon, and why you have to get the program voucher and why it's going to make you so much stubs. But before we get into this one, as always, make sure leave a like down below if you guys do enjoy these videos. Really does help them out. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. You've been killing it with the support. Thank you guys so much for an incredible launch. We had our most successful month by far in March. Thank you guys so much. Tons more tips, gameplays, everything of that on this channel, so make sure and hit the subscribe button. But now let's get into this video. So the first thing that I want to talk about is quickly, when is the second inning program going to be coming out? As you guys can see, from the time I'm recording this video, it is about a week away, 7 days, 21 hours. It is going to be on Friday, April 10th. Probably regular update time. I don't know if they're doing a stream previously, but I would surmise it's going to be between 2 and 5, somewhere in that ratio. So that is when it's going to happen. I am going to have my prediction video this Sunday. I would love if you guys could let me know some guys who you would love to see in the second inning program down below in the comment section. I think I know what positions it could likely be, but the players is a lot harder to judge. So let me know if you guys have any guesses down there. But let's talk about the voucher. Of course, the voucher, you go into the collections, into the first inning. It can be found right here. The second inning program voucher, I plan on doing this personally just because I think there's so much value. And another thing that you have to consider, because this is something I'm going to mention later, is if you don't have school, or if you have limited school, online school, and you are managing it pretty well, or if you are currently not working due to everything going on in the world, it is even more reason for you to do this and pick this up. Now, all of these cards right now are going for about 27,000, so that's 27, that's 54, and that is 81, I believe. Shout out Kobe. But 81,000 stubs it's going to take. You have to lock in all of these cards. Remember, unlike last year, you can't quick sell them. Don't know why you quick sell them anyway, but anyway, that's 3 players, 81,000. You're going to make 15k back, which is going to be 66,000 in total is what it would cost. And I highly recommend you do this before the second inning program drops, because these players are going to increase in price. A little heads up. So if you guys have an extra amount of stubs, maybe pick up a couple of these, store them for later, and sell them and make a big profit. But yeah, it's going to cost you 66,000, and this second inning voucher is going to get you 75 program stars for the second inning program, which you are going to be able to glide past this year. The way that they formatted it, it is set up so it's going to be quicker for people to be able to do it. Now, we don't have the moments like we did last year, or at least it doesn't seem. It does kind of look like Showdown and the player programs is going to replace the moments that we got. Remember the 3 sets of the moments that we would get 3 weeks within about a month a program would last. But I do believe that there's even more, if not the same amount of points. Showdown is going to give you 70. I know Showdown can be tough. I'm going to have a tip video on the second inning Showdown. Hopefully it isn't that hard. I didn't find the first inning to be that difficult once you get into a groove. And that in the voucher is going to get you 145 program stars. You're already halfway there to your 300 program star goal, which is of course going to be the boss player pack, which is really what we're talking about here, not completing all of it, but of course it's going to give you a nice head start on that as well. Conquest, that's going to give you 30. The Conquest is always laughably easy for the most part. I really never have trouble with Conquest. You can play everything on veteran difficulty. You should have at least a couple diamonds, or you know, at least really good golds on your team by now if you've been playing since launch, and it shouldn't be very difficult to just massacre the computer. That's going to give you another 30 stars. Remember, you also do earn program stars through playing, so you're probably going to get actually 35 to 40 program stars through completing Conquest. And then the other thing that we know for sure is that these are going to return. These are always within the programs where you have the win 10 games and ranked win 10 games overall. I personally prefer ranked seasons above anything else, either Battle Royale or events. But this is of course going to be much quicker. The first one, at least if you do it within the 3 inning game ones being Battle Royale or events. But that is all in total going to give you 195 program stars through the Voucher, the Showdown, the Conquest, and the online games. Now, the only thing difficult about that really should be the Showdown, and once you get a hang of it, like I said, once you figure out that you have to be patient, you do not swing at things unless it's a fastball, and don't be afraid to get into 0-2 counts. That is your friend. You want to drain them of all stamina that they have, keep their confidence low, so eventually they just keep walking you, and eventually once they do throw a fastball down the pipe, you can bang it and hit a grand slam and get those runs really, really quickly. So that is something really important to note. Also something important to note with your missions, make sure and start stacking them. So like I said, we know when this is going to happen. It's going to come out on Friday, next Friday. So what you can do is get these ready, and what I mean by stacking missions is just not do them for a couple days. Make sure that you have good ones. So for example, I don't really sacrifice bunt. Let's see if we can get a better one right here. 2 holds, that's perfect. You use relievers in most online games, I would assume, unless you throw perfect games. But yeah, this is a great one, and just get 2 of those, so where it says get new mission, and you'll have a lot more stars that you can earn, and these are typically pretty easy, especially these ones right here. Always recommend that you do these. Play 15 innings with that team's certain hitters, and then the exchange ones usually aren't difficult unless you get a really annoying equipment one, but make sure and do that. And there's just so much stubs to be made. This is a screenshot. Yes, I went all the way back. I had 1,000 plus, or it was 999 orders that I had from last year's game, and these were the prices of the cards. This was, and I remember this specifically because this is right before I went on my trip to Florida, and I pre-recorded so many videos. I got all the bosses, I bought them, did a gameplay debut, sold them, went on to the next one to do the Vlad, the Bumgarner, and the Miggy Cabrera. And this was, it wasn't the first night they were available. I think it was probably the first weekend, I would say, so it already been a couple days past then, and they were still going for 150,000 stubs. So do not be deterred by the fact that these cards, the current bosses, are not going for a whole bunch. That somehow will mean the others won't go for a bunch. That is not the case really at all. This same thing happened last year once we had the Andrew Jones, the Gossage, and the Cy Young. I don't think they were quite as cheap. I think they were a little bit more expensive, but I do not remember. I couldn't find an actual quote on that because I didn't do the same debuts. I didn't do the same system I did for the first inning program that I did the second inning program. But let's say even if it were 50K for the bosses last time, and let's say if it were the same thing, probably about 150, more than likely it's going to be at least 250K. I think somewhere in the deep depth of my memory, I can remember somebody sold one of the cards for 250K stubs on like the first night it came out, and that was before a lot of people realized the best way to game the system on the inning programs. We've had a lot more experience. They work pretty much the exact same way as last year. And if you were to put in the, what did I say, 61,000 stubs, and if you're able to make 200K minus taxes, you're going to make over 100,000 stubs. This is the best thing that you can grind right now. If you guys have a lot of free time on your hands, like a lot of people do in this current dire situation that we are currently existing in with the world right now, and you have some free time and you want to play the show, go ahead and grind this. It won't take you all that long to get the stubs. I will show you what I have still been doing for stubs. I made a video on it. Some people will claim that it has been destroyed or ruined my flipping gold cards, but that is not true by any stretch of the imagination. There are still great gaps that you can find here. For example, 300 stub gap right there on Gleyber Torres. And the biggest thing that you really have to take away from flipping cards is the pure volume. Some people prefer silver cards, and I looked into it after some of you guys told me about that, and I definitely see that as well. I think silvers and golds are the fastest ones that go in the market. Bronze cards you would think because there's more of them, but also a lot of times they are fixed in the way where people have like 30 to 40 orders on them because a lot of people like to do them for team affinity exchanges. So all you have to do is just flip cards. I know it's tedious, I know it's not the most fun thing in the world, but flipping cards is going to get you a bunch of stubs, and if you start doing this now and do it just casually, don't even go too hard at it, you'll be able to have enough stubs, the 80 or so K that you're going to need to get the 3 bosses, Todd Helton, Roy Oswalt, and Duke Schneider, collect them, and then you're going to get the 15K back and have the voucher and get ready to grind once the program comes out, because the rewards are going to be so good and the stubs you're going to make are so substantial. I really recommend it. And on top of that, you can't just think of the bosses that say, even if it took you a couple days after, even if you don't have the heart or the drive or the time, most importantly, because you have other obligations, whether it be schoolwork, work, or family life, whatever it may be, there's still a bunch of other stubs. So even if the card only goes for 100,000 stubs, there's still the henchman pack, which hopefully we get diamonds this time. Technically, this isn't really even a henchman pack. I think they're supposed to be at 200 program stars like they were previously, but then you have a ball and there's a habit pack. If you quick sell this, it's 1,000 stubs. If you sell this right away, if you do this quickly, it goes for multiple thousand stubs, and there's a bunch of other packs and stubs and loot that you're going to earn that's going to net you a bunch of stubs. So it's not just the boss players, but that is an incentive. And then another thing that you can do, and this is more grinding, this is something that I would love, because the only thing I have to grind really right now is March to October, which I'm doing with the Yankees right now. You're going to be able to have the prestige diamonds that you can grind, which is a lot of fun. You can earn more packs, you can earn more stubs and loot, and you can really upgrade these cards. If you take Roy Oswalt, his prestige card, which I think this is currently one of the best starting pitchers in the game that you can get on the market. I think Newhouser and Kluber are better, but this card is phenomenal. The best pitches you could really ask for: a catastrophically slow curveball compared to the 98, 99 mile an hour heater, and 100 plus walk 9, which is so important this year. I think it is really good. You're getting 3 great boss players and a huge chance to make a ton of stubs. But that's about going to do it for this video. Let me know in the comments section if you guys plan on grinding hard for the second inning program, if you plan on getting the voucher, and also let me know some guys that you would love to see in the second inning program. I think it's likely we're going to get a middle infielder, an outfielder, and a starting pitcher. That's kind of what I've been feeling so far. Maybe a reliever instead of the starting pitcher, but usually it's always going to have at least one pitcher in there. But if you guys did enjoy this one, make sure to leave a like down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And there goes some Saudi Yates.